Hi, thank you so much for watching your Multicultural channel, Community Hour. My name is Fernanda Vallejo, and today we're going to talk about Africanad. We're going to celebrate this beautiful culture, celebration, and event. I have a special guest with us, Selena Bieber. Welcome, Selena.
Thank you so much for having me, Fernanda.
How are you doing today?
Wonderful. We have beautiful weather outside, so enjoying it, and glad to be here in your lovely studio.
Perfect. So Selena is one of the board members of Africanad. This is a multicultural carnival. Can you tell me a little bit more about this event and when are you guys celebrating it?
So this year, Africanad Carnival, as we call it, Multicultural Carnival, is being hosted at the Simmental Park on August 2nd and 3rd. Of this year. It's a celebration of cultural mosaic, both African and the diaspora immigrant. Yeah.
Good. When it was created?
Africanad inception was founded by Ayodele Odeyemi, and he's of Nigerian descent, and he founded the organization, the nonprofit organization, in 2019.
2019.
Yes.
So since 2019, you guys have been hosting this event?
Correct.
Only in Winnipeg or?
In different parts of the province, not always in Winnipeg. We posted it in Grand Beach in the past. We've had it in Brandon. Predominantly, yes, we posted it in Winnipeg, but we've also hosted in other jurisdictions of the province, correct.
What can we expect this year?
So with this year, as we've done with the past years, we bring together, the African in the diaspora, the various cultural backgrounds and stuff, to celebrate their global fusion and everything that each, country or nation within Africa. Because in Africa, there are 54 countries and stuff with very distinct cultures, and each country has very distinct tribes with traditions and whatnot. We're not a monolith. And so in respect of that and ensuring that legacy of that and teaching of that and the celebration of all those cultures and stuff and the interconnectedness we have with the global diaspora and global immigrant community, particularly in Canada and in Manitoba, right? Whether it's Afro-Latinx or, whether it's Afro-Asian or, Afro-European or whatever, it's bringing all of us together to celebrate what bonds us.
And why do you think it's important to have all the communities together in this event?
Because I think, especially because we have such long seasonal winters and whatnot, we often tend to be in isolation and cellular, right, and insular. And so we tend to forget, that there's more that unites us and that we have in common than divides us. And Folklorama doesn't really give us, although it occurs in the same timeline, doesn't give us as a collective and a mosaic, the opportunity to celebrate and honor and respect each other's cultures together, for us to break bread and, as we say, sit at the table together. We're scattered and we're pitted against each other and very competitive. And so we thought we would take the opportunity to do what Folklorama's initial inception was supposed to be about, and that was to bring the diverse cultures and communities, particularly the immigrant communities, together under one roof to celebrate each other, honor each other, and champion each other's cultures and traditions. And so we that's why we decided to do this.
Amazing, amazing. So what's one of the most difficult challenges that you guys had find while you're organizing this event?
Well, one of the challenging things, or most challenging things we find with organizing this event is really, frankly, at the city level, they tend to view it as being in competition with Folklorama, so they tend not to want to fund it, even though we're a nonprofit organization. Also, the city's not making money from the event because it's a free event for community, right? We're not charging people unlike Folklorama. So because there's no profitability for the city in it, they tend not to want to fund it. And so funding becomes a real challenge. Like, that would probably be our biggest. But we've had great sponsors in the past, like Ed Vickers Toyota, Duxton Windows, right? With Alduic, K3 Design, that's my firm during the day. So we, Junction Medical, on Osborne. So we've had great private sector business sponsors supporting us because they believe in the vision, and they are also of immigrant communities, immigrant business-owned communities, as I've mentioned, that have come to the table and that support
Are you
initiative.
willing to apply for grants like in the future for maybe the next year?
We have applied for grants in the past. They've been nominal in scope and really do not
Okay.
amount to much.
Okay.
Because again, it's seen as not a serious thing, right? Because it's a celebration. It's not curing cancer, if you will. So,
Okay.
yeah, so it's not given the same weight or importance, and failing to understand that encouraging people to celebrate everything that makes them who they are and what's great about them, what's great about where they come from, right? It informs character, right? It builds up self-esteem, and the importance of that, it builds community. Because those are intangibles, they tend not to be able to put a price tag on it, and so they don't fund it. And so funding becomes a real big issue, and that's where we need public support.
And you guys are still organizing the event. Do you need more performers from like everywhere or
Everywhere,
just
yes.
Africa?
No, we get performers like the Takeo drummers. We get performers from everywhere. Like one of the things I loved about last year's event, we opened the event with an indigenous elder, right? And she, beat the drums and said a prayer and all those things. And so it was very, very moving and very, very meaningful, very special. And she had her ribbon skirt on and everything. It was, to me, it was the most it was a highlight. And that's how the event opened. And so it was just so meaningful.
Great. So if you guys are from different communities and you would like to perform in Africanad,
please come out, join us, participate. We more than welcome you. It's a cultural global celebration. So.
Okay, so what kind of legacy do you think Africanad is going to leave for the future of the community?
Well, I think because it has a unique proposition of bringing diverse communities together in such a celebratory, respectful way, right? And it's not about proving whose culture is better than the other, but rather what we have in common and what makes each culture so beautiful, right? I think, and you see it in the children, they start off shy and timid, and 1/10 of the way in, they're interacting with each other, they're dancing, they're playing, they're celebrating, they're trying each other's cultural dishes, they're trying out cultural outfits, they're exchanging ideas and things like that. The people coming together, right, and just really being respectful and honoring of one another, and with great humility as well.
Yeah, they're united.
Yes, and just realizing that we are so much more, right? The sum of us is greater than in individual parts, and so that's
especially in Canada, that we all are immigrants.
Exactly.
From different parts of the world. Good. And what are we can we expect from the event? Are we going to have like vendors?
There will be there will be vendors. There'll be games, dancing, of course. There'll be international musicians there as well as local musicians. This year's focus is to highlight a lot of local musicians from all different backgrounds, from the Asian community, Latino community, indigenous community, East Indian community and stuff. And so we're going to be having entertainment from all over. And there'll be a fashion show also. A cultural fashion show, correct, yes.
How do you see culture and entrepreneurship working together to empower your community?
Oh, wow. Because culturally, right, we are rooted and grounded in the sacred feminine, and we come from a maternal culture. Africa is about, in the way that Europe is a patriarchal culture, Africa is a matriarchal culture, and it's rooted in that. So that sacred feminine and care and nurturing, right, and teachings and all those sort of wonderful things, right? Building capacity, caring for community, right? As a woman, you know this, you're always putting everyone first. Well, when you're an entrepreneur, you're literally doing that as well. You're putting your employees, your customers, your community first, caring, nurturing, producing things that will make society better, that will be of service and of benefit to society. Because as Africans, one of our underpinning principles is that service to our fellow man is the rent we pay for our time here on earth. So it infuses everything we do.
How do you see the future of Africanad in the next 5 years?
Well, the event has been growing and getting bigger and bigger. And when we first started, it was just community event. Like when I say community, I mean like just Africa, Nigerian community type event. And then Caribbean community joined in, and then the Chinese community joined in, and the Latino, community also joined in. And so it's just been expanding. And now we have international artists from all these various communities also flying over to perform and join and participate with us. So it's become a real global diasporic event. And ultimately, I see it as not just having it locally here in Canada, domestically, but also internationally as well. That's the trajectory I see for it in the next 5 years.
Perfect. So you mentioned Africanad has also a magazine.
Correct.
Tell me a little bit more about it.
So Africanad has a media publication, a magazine. It's called Africanad Media. And it basically features, the best and the brightest among us. Those who are breaking down barriers, charging new paths, pioneers, innovators, and stuff within our community. And so it features that to remind us again of what we're all about and that we can. Yes, we can. And it's more, targeted or directed towards our youth to let them know that they stand upon the shoulders of giants, because that's not often taught to them, especially in the schools, right? And often they're in environments where they're made to feel like they're less than. So the publication is there to remind them, no, you're more than.
Great. Are there volunteer opportunities this year?
Absolutely. Last year we had about 164 volunteers. This year we anticipate having about, likewise, volunteers. We'll need about 200 because we're anticipating the event being even bigger. That's why it's 2 days. Last year was a 1-day event. This year it's a 2-day event because we've had so much interest in it in terms of people wanting to be involved, vendors, entertainers, designers, all of that. And so with our slate, we couldn't fit it all in 1 day. So it's a 2-day event now.
2-day event, yeah. Great. And where is it going to be hosted?
It's going to be hosted at the Saint Vital Park.
Okay. Timing?
The time right now, I believe, is 1 p.m. and it goes till 10 p.m.
Okay.
Yeah.
2 days.
Yes.
August 2nd and the 3rd, no?
Correct. Yes, that's correct.
Great. Do you have any special message for the community that are watching you now?
Come out, meet your fellow community members, meet others in your diaspora community, network. If you're a business person, it's a great opportunity for networking. If you want to take the table to showcase your products, it's also a great opportunity to do so. And then, you know what? Show out, shine, and shout out.
If you're a newcomer, you can volunteer and get.
Yes, and if you're a newcomer, it's a great way to volunteer and get to know the community, regardless of your background. If you're an immigrant newcomer, it's a great way to get to know your community.
Awesome. How people can contact you?
They can go to our website. It's africanad.ca. And then there's a registration link, and so you can then register there.
Okay, and social media?
Yes, and social media likewise. Again, Africanad. The handle is Africanad.
Instagram,
Facebook, Twitter. Yeah.
Awesome.
Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn. I forget. There's like 5 handles.
Everywhere.
Everywhere. TikTok. I almost forgot about TikTok.
Okay.
Yes.
Good. How many people are involved in this Africanad event, the organization this year?
So the steering committee is a steering committee of 15 people.
15.
Yeah,
okay.
15 people. And then we have we're currently sitting at about 80 volunteers. And so we're hoping to get more because we'll need about 200.
Once again, if you want to get more Canadian experience, this is a great opportunity.
Our theme this year is Roots in Motion, right? With musical diversity spotlight across the diaspora, like from the Takeo drums meets Afrobeat, meets Adian flutes with high life. And so it's really, really going to be a lot of fun.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Yeah, I can wait. I can wait.
Yes, please come enjoy.
Sure. Okay, and lastly, do you have a special message for all those newcomers that are just new here in Canada? Enjoy the season.
Come out, meet the community, meet your fellow immigrants and people of color. Come out, experience, taste, share with one another. meet the entrepreneurs that will be there with their booths and businesses and stuff. There may be job opportunities for you with them and stuff. You may be able to intern to get that Canadian experience that you seek. So it's got a lot to offer that we simply just cannot cover it all in a short time interview or meeting. So do come out.
Great.
You will feel much at home.
And we share a lot of information today. Thank you so much for coming, and I hope you enjoyed this episode. So we share a lot of information today. Don't forget to go to this event. It's really important to have our communities together.
Yes.
Thank you so much for coming, Selena, today.
Thank you for having me.
You're more than welcome. So don't forget to follow You Multicultural channel on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. See you next time. Bye-bye.